everyone. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. My name is Vanita Lambert, and we have Immaculate Can back again because we did not get through everything we needed to talk about. There are so many issues here as Democrat candidate for mayor that we need to inform you of and talk about. So she's here again, and I just want to welcome you back. And without any further ado, let's just get right into it because it's just so important.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about the education portion and so many other parts. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to be here and to really speak to you. I always love coming to your show, Vanita. This woman is just incredible, and she does so much for our community.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I want to mention we're on YouTube, so follow us on YouTube and like us and view us. Get the information out, and it's just so important.
Absolutely. And as we're talking about the incredible work that Vanita is doing in our community, I would like to also share with you some work that I'm doing in the community. Although I'm the candidate for mayor, I have always been a stout advocate for people, for children, and always working to improve the area that I live, not just for me and my family, but for us as a whole, because we are all in this together. So one thing that I wanted to, talk to you about is on August 7th. August 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. we are doing a back-to-school drive, for children. In times of COVID, for them to be able to have supplies, especially now in times of COVID where so many people have lost their jobs and just really don't have the income that they had before, and a lot of people are struggling. So I'm asking all viewers, everyone who's really watching today, to please come to Juliet Low. It's Juliet Low here in Stratford, Connecticut, and on August 7th, please bring backpacks, school supplies, anything that you can donate. Anything that you can donate so that we can be able to help the community and help family members who cannot afford to buy a backpack for their children or school supplies for their children for them to go back to school. So we're hoping that with the new variant of COVID that we will be able to open schools. We are excited here in Stratford that we have a new superintendent who just recently started with us. And when I'm mayor, because I'm calling it, and God said,
I love that. Take ownership.
Mayor, absolutely. According to Matthew 7 verse 7, ask and you shall receive. I'm a woman of faith, and I give God all the glory, all the praise, and all the honor. And He's put me in this journey for a reason. So that's why I said, when I am mayor. I am looking forward to working with our new superintendent. He has some amazing ideas in terms of how he would like to improve our educational system here in Stratford. So we're looking to make improvements, great improvements for the community, because historically what we've seen is that we are continuously giving more and more money to the Board of Education, and we're not seeing the results, in return.
Exactly.
We're not seeing any results in terms of our students, being better students, and things has to change. But I don't want to go too much into saying, what I foresee, what I want to do in terms of education, because it's all teamwork. It really is all teamwork of all of us coming together, and for us to make the positive changes that we need to make for our community and for our children, for the future, because they are the future, and they are the ones who are going to be one day running this town. They are the ones that we need to inspire for them to be in leadership roles and to come back and improve their communities. But it really starts with education. And as an educator myself, and I've had a very interesting journey in my own life, where I lost my mom as a baby. And I was raised by family members, by aunts and uncles and teachers, my community. So it was really a team effort. And I'll tell you, the slogan of "it requires a village,"
Yes.
it requires a village, to raise our children. And I am really blessed to be here today to say that I had a very effective village around me. And it is so important that our children also, they have an effective village around them so that they could be perhaps even doing better than what I've been able to accomplish, in my life. Education is key. I know that firsthand. A lot of people would say to you, Immaculate is a professional student. And I take that as a compliment.
Right, because we're always learning. One of the things that I would just like to say about education and the children being our future, this is something that my son taught me, and he was about 7 or 8 years old. It's great for what we want to do as parents, as a community, to help the children and to, provide everything we think they need. Mm-hmm. One thing that, just to piggyback off of being a student, I'm the parent, my son's like 7, 8, 9, or 10, I forget his age, is we have to listen to what they want.
Yes, absolutely.
It is so important to, even a child under 10, is to ask them, what is it that they really like about school? What is it? Just have them critique school, the teachers, their environment, the gyms, what they like and what they don't like. That is so important. Yes. And I think that's why I am an effective listener now, because I listen to my son.
Yes.
And of course, after that, I have listened to all these crazy stories, but I did listen first and then I punished him because I know he did it. I just know he did it.
It is so important, but it's just also not just listening is a very big piece.
It is.
Because if you're not really listening, then it becomes our goals. It's not really their goals, theirs. And then they're not buying, they don't buy in.
They got to buy into it, at least part of it. And that's where you compromise. You're like, well, honey, you're only 10, and that doesn't make sense, but we'll do A, B, and C. Absolutely. But it's important to have that voice.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, as an educator, because I also teach for Yale New Haven, I teach the master's nurse practitioner program, the psychiatric area, clinical psychiatry, which is my area of expertise. So as an educator myself, one thing that I've always been a very big proponent of is what's called mentorship. Because that is really, and I've designed preceptor programs in my place of work, and I've designed mentorship programs at my place of work. And what that is really having someone, take you under their wings, and show you what a particular job is all about. And that is really actually a very good way. It's like being a big brother, a big sister to someone.
That's awesome.
That's really a very good way of people, especially children, to say, wow, I really enjoy this. This is really what I would like to do. So the best example that I can give you is even with my own children. I have 4 children. And I have 5 grandchildren.
Oh my God.
So if you say I look like 30, you're my new best friend. But one of the things that I've done is I have 2 girls, and I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I have my doctorate degree in nursing. And I looked back and how I wanted both of my girls to be nurses too. My oldest daughter, I said, you need to go into nursing, and she goes, no, I don't know if this is really what I wanted to do. I said, fine. So there was a program that I designed and at my place of work, and then I found someone who was willing to, mentor her. It was a summer program that, that was at my job, and she went in and she was able to be around other nurses and the doctors and see what it was all about. And she came back and she said, you know what, Mom? I do want to be a nurse. I do. So today I'm really proud to say she's a nurse today, but she had to learn firsthand. It wasn't me telling her, but she had to learn firsthand, is this something for you? Unfortunately, my second daughter said, no, that's not for me.
That's a great story.
And she decided to be an entrepreneur and in food business, doing catering. So it is so important, that we are really helping our younger generation, our children, for them to be able to find their ways. Because although I have a doctorate degree in nursing from Northeastern University, which is a very, it's an excellent school, but that's not the path for everybody. That may not,
right.
Other children and other kids, may want to do technical school. They may want to do carpentry. They may want to be a mechanic. They want to, and so on and so forth. But it's really finding it where they thrive, because that's the idea. My dad always said to me, if you enjoy what you do, you never have to work a day in your life.
That's right.
If you enjoy what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. And that's where we want all our children to be, for them to enjoy what they do and to do it well, and for them to thrive. So education is a big area, big platform of mine, and these are the ideas that I have, and I would love to hear the ideas that the superintendent has, and for us to be able to implement these effective measures so that we could have excellent students, coming out and really helping their communities. That should be one of our goals. And as a nurse, also one of my platforms is to, in terms of COVID, COVID is not going away. And right now, especially with the new variant that we have that is extremely contagious, you need someone at the table, who understands, who worked in the medical field, who understand what needs to be done. I was really surprised that when COVID first came out here, and we were very terribly impacted here in Stratford, that the mayor didn't put together a task force. And I was actually, as part of a member of NAACP, calling the health department. The NAACP president, Mr. Stanley Lord, calling and said, no, there are people who are not really getting the help that they need, and we need a meeting. And we had to be the one knocking down the doors to force that. So we essentially became kind of like a mini task force, to really help address the needs of the community. So as mayor, myself as a mayor, I know how to handle these issues because I've been in hospital administration and I've addressed issues, with everyone, with the leadership and so on and so forth, and bringing people together and for us to effectively address the needs of our clients in the hospital. And that's the same that I would do here, as mayor. So you really need someone with firsthand knowledge, to really address the issue of COVID. Right now, in the state of Connecticut, we're lacking. We've only had a little bit over 50% of people vaccinated here in Stratford. We are the second state in the state of Connecticut who has a terrible record, of vaccinating our community, and that has to change. Where you have surrounding towns, they're over 60%, they're close to 70%.
Like New Haven.
Yes, I mean, they are doing extremely well addressing the needs of the community, but Stratford, we're not doing that.
But is it because of, people are not, like the mayor not doing her job, knocking on doors and informing people because of the reluctancy to even take the vaccine,
Absolutely.
the availability, or is it just a certain percentage of people that says, I'm never going to take this vaccine no matter what you tell me? Because I was watching the news and I hate to get political, but it is political, and I'm going to get political. 47% of Republicans will not ever take the vaccine, according to what I heard on the news, and 8% of Democrats will never take the vaccine. So I think it's important to find out why.
Absolutely.
And to crush those insecurities that could lead to death. I mean, worst case scenario. And especially with this new Delta variant where it's as contagious as the chicken pox. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
What,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all I can think of is common sense isn't common. If you're going to die, you know, why do it willingly? Why not fight it?
Absolutely.
Why aren't you taking this vaccine?
Absolutely.
Is it because of misinformation, mixed information? You know, what is
Absolutely.
it that's stopping people from doing this?
Yes.
And why aren't you, you're a person, you're an adult, you're educated, you went to school, why can't you listen to professionals opposed to your neighbor and make a smart decision to protect kids in your household under 12, for example?
Absolutely. Follow the science.
Yeah, it's not rocket science, it's
yeah.
just common sense.
It is. And unfortunately, we can see with the previous presidential president that we had, didn't believe in science, didn't believe in science. And we've had for the last 18 years here in Stratford, a Republican-run administration, so that could be in part, as to why we have such a low rate of people being vaccinated, because if you, as the leader on top, if you don't believe in it, and if you are not championing for people to take the vaccine, well, no wonder we have this problem.
Attitude reflects leadership.
Absolutely.
It really, really does. And that's why it's so important to start with education.
Yes. And you hit it, when I knock on doors and I start talking to people, the very first thing that I would do is do my disclaimer. I'm fully vaccinated. And I would like to talk to you. And people would willingly say, oh, I'm vaccinated too. And some people would say, well, I'm not vaccinated. And I would say, okay, well, let's have a talk, and I would sit down and even before politics, talking about that I'm running for mayor and so on and so forth. And this is the educator in me that comes out, to really bust certain myths, regarding the vaccine and also to teach the science, of what's going on. That's the job of the mayor. The job of the mayor is to really, establish the framework, the path of keeping their community safe. And it really is, part of it is really educating your community. Part of it is, I've done some public speaking announcements, for different towns. Bridgeport asked me to do one, and I did one for them, where I'm educating people why I've not been asked here in Stratford, to do it. But
take it upon yourself and just do it.
Yes, absolutely. But I do. I every door that I knock, that's the first thing that I talk about, even before I talk about me running for mayor. As I introduce myself. So COVID is not going away, folks. And you can see that if in the last election, if we had a Republican president, we probably would be in a worse problem right now.
Oh my
God.
But
the president that we have right now is following the science, and that's probably why, most areas in the country, we have very high vaccination rates. But you look at the Republican-run states, look at their rates in terms of vaccine, terrible. You look at Stratford, who is a Republican-run town, look at our rates. We're the second worst town in the state of Connecticut when it comes to really having our folks being vaccinated. And if the leaders on top are not really going out there and championing the cause, then you know what? You can know that people are just not going to take it, and it puts everybody else at risk.
It does, and it creates doubt and everything else.
Absolutely.
So,
and also another issue that I would like to talk about is really the issue of equity. We are a very diverse town here in Stratford. We could say almost 50% of our town is of diverse mix of people living here in town. But then you look at the individuals who are at the table, who are making decisions on behalf of the town, on behalf of our constituents. There are not reflections, of the town. People who sit on boards and commissions are not reflections, of the community. And that is something that we need to change. And I am proud to say that I am on top of the ticket, of the Democratic ticket, has the endorsed candidate for mayor. But what I am so proud of is that the slate of individuals who are running, we are all of us are a reflection of our community. And that is a beautiful thing. And you'll get to see, most people as we knock on doors and so on and so forth. I feel like we should go and get a T-shirt, and actually somebody came up with that idea and said we should get a T-shirt to say, I look like the town, or something like that, or I am the town, and the diversity that we have. So we need people with different lens, and if you don't have a diverse group of people making decisions with different lens that comes to the table with different ideas, then we're not going to move forward. That's not how, you look at any organizations that are innovative, or any organization that are forward thinking, they don't have individuals who think like the next person.
Exactly.
They have people coming up with different ideas, different ways of thinking, different modalities, weighing in, and then that's how those organizations are able to really do big things. And that's why I'm so proud to work for an organization like Yale, because they're very innovative, and the work that they do is just it's excellent. And for me, I'm all about evidence-based practice. I'm all about doing things administratively the right way and the best way. And just yesterday, someone said, well, what is your team going to look like? I said, my team is going to be smart. My team is going to be forward-thinking. My team has to really have an innovative mind. And my team has to be able to roll up their sleeve and let's get to work, and work hard. And I'm a hard worker. I've always been a hard worker, whether
Obviously.
if it's, work that I do in my community, work that I do professionally, my education, everything, tells you that I'm an extremely hard worker. And that's what I bring to the table, as the next mayor of Stratford.
She works so hard. I'm getting tired just listening about all the work that she does. I don't work that hard. So I commend you for all of the hard work.
Yes.
And two fields of profession that I've always commended is the education and nurses.
Yes.
Because it is just such hard work.
It is.
You're reaching so many folks at one time. And in nursing, you're saving lives.
Yes.
You are saving lives. And what better person to have,
And
as a leader
Yes.
to champion all of the other people and to be a voice for the entire town and to really get things done. And we can sit back and relax because she works hard. We can just tell her what we want and she works hard.
Well,
she'll go out and do the work for us.
You stick with me, I'll rub a little bit of that on you. One of the things that I'm, as a nurse, I'm running under the slogan, that integrity you can count on, and as a nurse and also educators, one of the things that is just so embedded in our DNA is integrity. And integrity, we don't, unfortunately, it's lacking, in politics. And it is so important, that we are at a time in our lives that we are going to have elected officials who have integrity. Those officials are your mouthpiece. Those officials are the individuals who are supposed to have your back. And when they lack integrity, they don't have your back. It becomes all about them. And what you need are people with a proven record. Always look at the person's record and what they've done, and what have they done to really represent the people at large, not represent their friends and family, which is really a big problem we have in town hall right now. It's really a friends and family benefit package, and that is really not helping the community. The last mayor, Hawkins, we had, the person who was the economic development person, was his mistress.
Oh my God.
That's the friends and family that I'm talking about. The mayor that we have right now, The person that's the economic development person, is her best friend. Now, if that person was effective and doing a very good job, and I don't know that person, when I have the seat, I'll find out, hey, what do you bring to the table?
Exactly.
What do you bring and for me, it's not about, Democrat, Republican, independent, this party is that party, and so on and so forth. It's about, can you get the job done? Can you get the job done? And are you for the people of Stratford? Are you for improving the lives of the individuals, that are living here, that are suffering? We need to hear what they're experiencing and the suffering they're experiencing, and we need to bring something to the table to change that for them. And those are the people that I surround myself with, that I've always surrounded myself with, regardless of the leadership role that I've been in. And people would say to me, "Wow, one of your jobs, you work for the state of Connecticut, and you've always been an excellent employee." Mm-hmm. Well, that's part of it, is my integrity.
Exactly.
I could say, well, you know what? Whether I work hard, whether I don't work hard, I'm still going to get my raise. Whether I work hard, whether I don't work hard, I'm still going to have a job. But that's not integrity. That is a lack of integrity when you don't go into that job and give it your all. And as mayor, that's what I promise my constituents here, is to give it my all and to give it my best. And always, always looking at ways to really make everybody's lives the best that it could be.
I'm inspired. I might run for mayor.
You do that, yes.
My goodness, that is some really, really great stuff. Oh, yes. My God. Yes. So we have just a couple of seconds left. Any
Yes.
last words?
Well, I'm always, as a League of Women Voter person for the last over a decade, I'm going to ask everyone, please exercise your rights. A lot of people lost their lives for us to have the ability to vote. November 2nd, please go and vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My goodness, what an inspiring
Yes.
show. Thank you so much. And please do come back.
Yes.
So that's our show today. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show, and we're on your side.
All right.